Hello everyone, welcome back. It's mid-July of 2023 and today's video is going to show you how we turned a 28-inch-ish pine stump into this beautiful zinnia planter that you see here. We've been doing a lot of cleanup and a lot of projects, so I haven't put up as many videos, but we have some really cool stuff coming your way over the next bunch of weeks. So this is some footage that was taken in the winter time. And as you can see, the pileated woodpecker really did a number on this tree. So we knew this thing had to come down. It wasn't in the greatest shape. You can kind of see that from the foliage. But once the pileated put those gigantic holes in there, we knew this tree was not long for the world. And so it was better take it down before it fell on something. So here's some video of the actual tree getting cut down. What's really cool about this is we were able to hire someone to take it down. They didn't even have to climb it. He was able to sort of fit it right in our backyard between the fence and the gardens and everything else. It's pretty amazing, as you'll see it. I shortened this somewhat, but you can hear the sledgehammer and the wedges as we speak. This was a cold morning. It was like, I think, early April. You can kind of see not the healthiest tree. Also took a lot of sun from our backyard, so here's the sort of end parts of this process. And down she goes. And amazingly didn't hit anything. Here's a picture of when we're in the midst of cleaning it up. We cleaned it up in a weekend. It wasn't too bad, but it was an enormous mess, as you can see. This is what the wood looked like, just totally rotten. We cut it open with the chainsaw, one of the large main stems, if you will, or the trunks, and it just was full of ants and just rotted like that. Here's a bunch of pieces all over the yard. So one of the questions is, okay, you have all this mess, and now you have a big stump, so what are you going to do? A lot of the wood that's nice we kept for firewood, but you have a lot of pine branches, which are harder to deal with. So here's the stump that was left over. As I mentioned, pretty good sized stump now. We ground other stumps out, but this one I wanted to try something a little different. So I decided to build a planter. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to, and this is the planter in process, we're going to build a planter around the stump, fill the area in between with some of those extra logs, like things that won't split very well, and then put pine branches on top to form like a sort of like a netting, if you will, and then we'll top up with 6 to 8 inches of soil, and that's what we'll plant just annuals in, nothing perennial, because the dirt's going to sink as stuff breaks down. So here's a picture of the box when it's sort of roughed in. I say roughed in because I didn't film it, I should have, but I added in a lot more supports in the center of each side, as well as some more heavy-duty supports in the corners, just so it doesn't bow out or pull apart or anything like that. So here's the planter filled with a bunch of the miscellaneous log chunks, things that are like crotch angles and, like V-shaped pieces that are going to be really hard to split. Just throw those in there to take up space, essentially, around the stump. And so that's step one, is just sort of fill the area in with a lot of the junk wood. It's too hard to split and isn't going to be any good for that. Then I laid all the pine branches across to just sort of make almost like a netting to hold the soil, because this way you don't have to fill this entire planter with soil. You're really only putting, as you see, maybe 6 to 8 inches of soil in here. So I just dumped a whole bunch of my old potting mix in there, some containers. I put the topsoil bags from Lowe's, the green and white ones that are like $2. Nothing fancy or expensive, just a lot of filler in there. So this is what it looks like when it was pretty much finished. All the white you see is perlite that was just in a lot of the potting mix that I dumped in there. So here's the roughed in planter essentially, sort of ready to go. As you can see, when you put your hand in there, there's a good 6 to 8 inches of soil, which is all something like flowers is going to need anyway. If you think, you can plant flowers in a hanging basket or a little pot, and they only have 6 to 8 inches of soil. This is a tremendous quantity of soil. It's just not that deep, but it'll be perfect for annuals, and we're going to plant zinnias in here, so that's going to work out well. So this is a couple months later. We have our zinnias in there. This is when they were just starting. Just sort of put a whole bunch in there. We bought some plants, and then we had also thrown a bunch of seed in there, which also came up. So you'll see in just a moment. This was taken on July 17th in the evening. This is what it looks like now, sort of grown in. We stained it with a nice stain. I did use pressure-treated wood, so I wouldn't put edibles in here, but think it's perfect for flowers, things that are annual, because of course those pine branches and those logs eventually are going to break down. The dirt will sink a little and just have to top it up each year. But so you wouldn't want something like a bush or a tree that would just sort of sink with the dirt. So annuals would be the way to go. And here's a little bonus footage of what we did with the pileated piece. We put that in the gnome garden as a decoration. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and we hope to see you again soon.